The Omen of the Black Crow. Ethan had always been fascinated by birds, but there was something unsettling about the massive black crow that appeared outside his window every night. It perched on the twisted branch of the old oak tree watching, waiting. No matter how late he stayed up, the bird remained, its beady eyes gleaming in the dark. At first, he dismissed it as nothing more than a coincidence. Birds roost wherever they pleased. But as the days passed, the crow became more than just an observer. It followed him. He saw it outside his office window, on the railing of his apartment balcony, and even on the fence of his childhood home when he visited his parents. No matter where he went, it was there. One night, after a long and exhausting day, Ethan decided to confront the bird. He stepped onto his balcony and glared at it. "Go away," he shouted, throwing a small rock. The crow didn't flinch. Instead, it cawed, an eerie drawn-out sound that sent chills down his spine. Then it spoke. "Not long now." Ethan stumbled backward, his breath hitching. The voice was hollow, raspy, yet unmistakably human. His heart pounded in his chest as he scrambled inside, slamming the door shut. He barely slept that night, every creak and whisper of wind sending him into a paranoid frenzy. The next morning he tried to rationalize it. Maybe exhaustion was playing tricks on his mind. Maybe he had imagined the whole thing. But the feeling of being watched never left him. Worse, the crow's presence began to seep into his dreams. In his nightmares, he stood in an endless fog-covered field, the air thick with the scent of decay. The crow circled above him, its wings casting long shadows. Then, one by one, others joined it, dozens, hundreds, until the sky was black with their presence. They screeched his name, a cacophony of voices, human and inhuman, whispering the same thing. Not long now. He woke up drenched in sweat, gasping for breath. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. A message from an unknown number. "The hour is near." Ethan felt sick. He tried to ignore the message, but as he stepped into the bathroom, he froze. Scratched into the mirror as if by clawed talons were the words. "Not long now." He stumbled back, knocking over a lamp. His mind raced. He had to leave, get away from whatever was happening. He packed a bag and drove to the countryside, seeking refuge in an old cabin his family owned. But the first night there, as he sat by the fireplace, a familiar caw echoed through the trees. He turned to the window. There it was, perched on the windowsill watching, waiting. And then he understood. The crow was not following him. It was waiting for him to understand. Waiting for him to accept. A horrible realization sank into his chest like ice. This was not a warning. It was a countdown. His breath hitched as he glanced at the clock. Midnight. The hour was near. A gust of wind burst through the room, blowing out the fire. Darkness swallowed him whole. The next morning the cabin was empty. No sign of Ethan. Only a single black feather on the floor, and the faint echo of a crow's cry fading into the distance.